I want to say something before we begin tonight. Most of what I read, I understand. The story is frightening. The person was in danger. Here is what happened, and here is what they learned from it. There is a shape to it, a logic, the fire at the end of it, the warmth. I can always find those things. I'm not sure I can find them in what I am about to tell you. A listener sent me a package 4 weeks ago. A USB drive, a notebook, a letter. The letter said, "I recorded everything I could. I do not know what it means. I do not know who else to send it to." His name was Owen. "I will tell you that now because he told me to." He said, "Use my real name." He said, "I want there to be a record somewhere with my actual name in it. I am going to play you what he sent." This is Owen Marsh. It is 11:14 p.m. on a Thursday. I am recording this on my phone because I do not know what else to do, and I want there to be a record. At 11:08 this evening, every screen in my house changed simultaneously. The television, my laptop, my tablet on the kitchen counter. All of them went to a gray background with black text. No sound, just text. I have written it down exactly as it appeared. I am going to read it now. Emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. Residents in your area are advised to remain indoors. Do not use telephone lines. Do not approach windows or external doors. This message will repeat. That is a complete text. It repeated 11 times. On the 12th repetition, it was gone. All 3 screens returned to what they had been showing before. The television returned to the program. The laptop returned to the article I had been reading, as if nothing had happened. I checked the EBS website. No alert active in my area. I checked 3 news sources. Nothing. I called my sister in the same city. She had not seen anything on her screens. Her television, her phone. Nothing. It appeared only on mine. Owen's notebook. The physical one he sent me contains a diagram he drew in those first minutes. 3 rectangles representing the 3 screens. An arrow between each one. The word simultaneous underlined twice. He was an engineer. He understood something about the infrastructure that carries broadcast signals, about what it would take for a message to appear on a television, a laptop, and a tablet simultaneously, without appearing on the same networks elsewhere, in the city. He wrote 2 words at the bottom of that diagram in letters larger than everything else on the page. He wrote, "Targeted. Localized." Owen's voice again, now 33 minutes later. "Still controlled, but something has shifted in the quality of the control. This is Owen. It is 11:47. I have not moved from the center of the living room. I want to explain why I have not moved." The message said, "Do not approach windows." I am a rational person. I understand that the message may have had no legitimate origin, that it may have been a system error, or a localized technical fault, or something I cannot explain, but which has an explanation. I understand all of that. I also understand that I have not been able to make myself walk to the window. Since 11:08, I have been in this room for 39 minutes, and I have not looked outside. Not once. I keep thinking about the word roach. Do not approach windows, not do not open windows, not do not lean out of windows. Approach. as if whatever is outside could be made worse by proximity, as if getting close to the glass is itself the danger. At 11:22, the street outside went quiet. I could hear it from here. The absence of it. No cars, no voices. The particular silence of a residential street at the moment. Everyone on it stops moving at once. I do not know when that silence ended. I have been trying not to listen too hard to what is outside, and I cannot tell you whether the sounds have come back. The message said do not use telephone lines. I have not called anyone. I am recording this on my phone, but I am not calling. That distinction between recording a voice memo and making a call may be meaningless. I've decided it is not. Owen's notebook contains a page he marked with a red asterisk. At the top of the page he wrote the time, 11:51, and then a single question. He wrote, "Who else received it?" Below that, a list. 7 names, addresses noted in shorthand, a column of Y and N beside each one. The Ents were people he had tried to contact through means that were not telephone lines. Email, messaging apps, a note slid under a neighbor's door. None of them responded that night. The AIs were people who contacted him. There were 3 of them, different parts of the city, none of them within half a mile of Owen's house. All 3 had received the same broadcast on the same screens at the same time. All 3 had noticed what Owen noticed, that it appeared on no public record, no official alert system, no news source. All 3 had also noticed something Owen had not mentioned in his recordings, something he had not recorded because he had not yet looked. They had all looked out of their windows. Owen, now past 1 a.m. The control is thinner. He is still precise, but there is something underneath the precision now. This is Owen. It is 1:03 in the morning. I have been talking to the others through email, not telephone lines. Not. I need to tell you what they saw when they looked out of their windows. I want to record this precisely, so there is no ambiguity about what was reported. The first, a woman named Sarah in the north of the city, said the street outside her window was empty. Not unusually empty, completely empty. No parked cars. She lives on a street where there are always parked cars. She said the absence of them was the thing that stayed with her. She said it looked like a street on a film set, like the idea of a street rather than a street. The second, a man who gave only his initial K, said he saw a figure at the end of his road, standing still, facing his house. He watched it for approximately 4 minutes. He said it did not move in any way he could identify as human movement, not a statue. He said there was something about it that was not fixed, that there was motion of some kind, but that the motion was not recognizable. He looked away for a moment. When he looked back, it was gone. The third, he did not give his name at all, said he looked out of his window, and the window reflected back a room that was not his room. I have not looked out of my window. I am telling you this because I want it recorded. It is 1:03 in the morning, and I have not looked out of my window since 11:08, and I am not going to look out of my window tonight. If there is nothing out there, then I have spent a night in my living room for no reason. And that is fine. That is a good outcome. I am able to accept that outcome. I need to stop recording now. The battery is at 11%, and I want to preserve enough to leave one more message in the morning. I want to pause here for a moment before the last transmission. When I received Owen's package, I spent a long time with his notebook before I listened to the recordings. The notebook is in better condition than I expected. It is methodical. The handwriting is consistent and clear throughout. It does not deteriorate in the way you might expect from someone who was increasingly frightened over several hours. Owen was, by his own account, and by the evidence of everything he sent me, someone who stayed calm, who documented, who chose precision over panic at every point in that long night. There is one page in the notebook where the handwriting changes. It is a page near the back, undated. 2 sentences. The handwriting is still legible, but the pressure on the pen is different, deeper, harder. The way handwriting goes when the handwriting it is not entirely controlled. It says, "The broadcast was not a warning about something outside. I think we were being told to stay inside so that something could look at us without us looking back." Owen, next morning, daylight. The control has returned. He sounds almost like himself. That is the most frightening thing about this recording. This is Owen. It is 7:12 in the morning. It is light outside. I can hear a car on the street. I am going to send this recording and my notebook to someone. I have been thinking about who. I settled on a man who tells true horror stories, because I think the most honest thing I can do with what happened last night is to put it somewhere that is already about true things that cannot be fully explained. I want to record what I found this morning when it became light enough to check. I looked out of my window at 7:04 when the sun was properly up. The street looks ordinary. Cars. A woman walking a dog. Nothing that would make you look twice. But on the outside of my living room window, on the glass, there are marks. Not damage, not scratches. Marks that look like the residue of contact. The way glass looks after something has been pressed against it from outside and then removed. Spread across an area roughly the size and shape of a face pressed close to the glass and held there. I live on the 3rd floor. The broadcast told me not to approach the windows. I did not approach the windows. Whatever came to my window approached from the outside. I do not know what it was looking for. I do not know if it found what it was looking for in the other houses. Sarah's empty street. The figure Kay saw that moved without human movement. The room reflected in the glass that was not the room behind it. I have cleaned the marks off the window. I have photographed them first. The photograph is on the USB drive with everything else. I have decided to tell you my real name because I think the most frightening things are the ones that have no audience. That happen in the dark with no record and no witness. I am making myself a witness to what happened to me last night. Whatever that was worth, whatever it was for. My name is Owen Marsh. This happened to me. That is all I know how to say about it. Owen Marsh sent me that package 4 weeks ago. I have not been able to reach him since. His email returns no response. The number he listed for emergencies in his letter goes to voicemail. I do not know where Owen is. I do not know if the broadcast has repeated. I do not know what was on the 3rd floor of a building, pressing its face against a window in the dark, looking in at a man who had been careful enough not to look back. I do not know if being careful was what kept Owen safe that night, or whether it simply delayed something that was not in a hurry. What I know is that he wanted a record, he said. I want there to be a record somewhere with my actual name in it. I have kept that. This is the record. If you receive something on your screens tonight that you did not ask for, an alert, a message, a broadcast that has no official source, I want you to remember what Owen wrote in his notebook in those later hours. He wrote, "The broadcast was not a warning about something outside." He wrote, "I think we were being told to stay inside so that something could look at us without us looking back. Whether that is true, I cannot tell you. Whether it would have been better to look, I cannot tell you that either. If you have something to send me, a recording, a notebook, a USB drive, anything you want placed on the record, the email is in the description. I read everything that arrives. The fire is still burning. I will see you at the next story."